G'day guys, welcome back. Another fun day in the studio today. But before we get started, I really want to say a big thank you to all the people that have donated in July and August. Thank you so much. Every little bit helps to buy paints and canvases and bring new products in from the States to try, so it's very much appreciated. Thank you to Deborah, Andrea, Janine, Carol, Jessica, some gal, whoever you are, Julie, Andrea, Carol, Sharon, Andrea, Maureen, Diana, Shauna, Stephanie and Peter, and Michelle, Sue, Judy, Heather, Kelly, Loretta, Adele, Lorena, Bobby Joe, Kathy, Jen, Tammy, Christine, twice. I think Christine was July and August. Thank you, Christine. Jennifer and Alana. So thank you so much, everybody. Love you all. Now, I had a workshop yesterday and one of the lovely ladies, Lisa, hey Lisa, she did this beautiful pour using the pink Supreme Sheen. I have to be careful not to drop anything in it because it's wet. Pink tourmaline. And it's just gorgeous. It reminds me of cherry blossoms. And she had this little cup of paint left over because she actually mixed up some water in it. Instead of just being Extreme Sheen and Floetrol, she actually mixed a little bit of water in with it. And I said, oh, don't worry, we'll just make up another one. But I've got this one now from yesterday and I thought I'll just use it. And I'm using the exact same colours that she used because I just think this is so beautiful. Right, let me pop that away under the table so it can dry without anybody touching it. Okay, so pouring medium. As you know, when I do my pearl pours, it's just Floetrol and a little bit of water. It doesn't matter what colour you use for your pearls, although in saying that, I have discovered that some of the Extreme Sheen paints are maybe thicker than others. This one here, this was made with the blue. I put it down very carefully because it's still wet. See, the pearls are much smaller. I think that each colour is maybe a little bit different. They're not all the same consistency. So in future, I'm going to have to ask the ladies when they're using blue, just to add a touch of water. The gold and the rose gold seem to be much thinner. We get bigger pearls with that one. This is the rose gold that the lovely Gillian made yesterday. See how much bigger those pearls are? And I think it just comes down to the consistency of the colour that's in the little bottle. I think they're all a bit different, which is annoying. So unless you start using all these colours more regularly and work out that, hey, the blue needs thickening, the pink probably needs thickening, yeah, and the others are fine. So anyway, let's get started. I've shown you my Floetrol. The colours are, the black is the Artist's Loft Flow Acrylic, and that's mixed equal parts with Floetrol and then a dash of water. So I've got, see, I give the ladies, when they come to classes, I give everyone a little card like that, and that's what they follow. So, and each pour's different. They each get a different card depending on which pour they're going to do. So your flip cups will get a different one, your swipes get a different one because the ratios are all different. And when people come to my class, they make up the paint themselves. They mix it themselves. So they learn how to mix the paints. I don't think there's any point just coming to a class and everything's already pre-mixed. How are you going to learn what to do and what consistency to do? So that's what they do when they come to my classes. So that's the black. The colours, I've got turquoise blue. And that one's 30 grams of Floetrol, 15 grams of Liquitex Basics. So that's 2 to 1 with the Liquitex Basics. And then this one had 5 grams of water. It's a relatively thin one, that one. The purple is the dioxazine purple. That's got 30 grams of Floetrol, 15 grams of paint, and I've upped that to 10 grams of water. It's a thick paint. And the same with this one, 2 to 1, 10 grams of water. This one, I only used half a bottle, the leftover bottle from yesterday. So that's 30 grams of Extreme Sheen, 30 grams of Floetrol, and it has got 5 grams of water in it. Although it's been sitting overnight, so I don't know whether maybe the water's kind of evaporated. Just a little bit, maybe it has. Maybe I should just add just a tiny little splash just to accommodate maybe that little bit of water that's evaporated overnight, because it wasn't covered. I forgot to cover it last night. I was exhausted after my workshop. Had a couple of hours to sit down with the dogs and have a cuppa, and then we went out for dinner to a Thai restaurant. So that was my day yesterday. I'm going to start layering these. The black I'm going to put in the bottom, in the middle, and on the top. So that has 3 layers. The other colours each just have 2. So now half of the turquoise, half of the purple, half of the green. That green feels much thinner. All right, and a little bit more of the black. And the rest of the turquoise. I like to just layer them in twice. We're going to do a ring pour here today. Oh, actually, what I wanted to do, I'll try it with the gold, but I wanted to try a dirty pour. So still layer the colours, but then instead of doing a ring pour, just pour it in from up high. So that's something else. That's going to be coming up soon, because I want to try that and see how that goes with my puddle of Extreme Sheen in the middle. I haven't actually tried that before, so I do want to try that. This purple still feels a bit thicker than the other paints. You don't notice it that much while you're stirring, but it's not until you pour it out that you think, oh yeah, it's running a little bit slower than the others into the cup. So this is a 30 by 40 centimetre card that I use. It's pretty thick. It doesn't warp. And I just, after I finish pouring, I'll transfer it onto a piece of greaseproof baking paper, and it'll just sit there until it dries. Takes a few days. So you have to make sure that they're nice and thick, these cards, and that you have a good amount of paint on it. If you've only got a really thin amount of paint, it may dry a bit warped, but mine are really thick. As I said, they're 950 GSM. A little bit more black. Now the black's going to be on the outside, so I'll just pour the rest of the black on the top, because what goes in last is going to be on your outside anyway, and it's most likely going to be tipped off. I don't like having too much black in the cup. It just makes your pour really quite dark, and they tend to dry a lot darker too, so you have to be careful of that. Now you just sit over there for a minute so I don't knock you over. And the pink, it just goes into the middle like so. Found this works the best, well, for me anyway. I've tried just, you know, putting a ring around of the metallic, and it basically just all got pushed off. So I've tried with this puddle, and that seems to work better for me. Let's just move it out just a little bit. I haven't tried this before either, thinning it out just a touch, so I'll try that today. More experiments. So many people say, why do you put these black marks on? Well, I thought it was obvious so that I'm back in frame. There's no point me having it up here, is there? Like you can't see properly, or bring it back down here. So I put it there, then I know where I'm supposed to put my canvas or my cookie cooling tray back again when I'm finished moving it. People ask strange questions, don't they? Okay, so now I'm going to do a ring pour. See how the black's on the outside? I want big circles, so I'm going to pour in big circles. So the paint that's in the cup mixes a little bit because it's been moved around a few times. It tends to mix a bit. the paint that's left in the cup. The paint that comes out first, you know, hasn't been sloshed around so much, so it's more of a straight colour. And then the cup has been sloshed around, so the colour that's coming out at the end tends to be a little bit more mixed. And some colours react differently, you know, whether they're a transparent or a semi-transparent, they will react a bit differently. That one's opaque. It's kind of doing a hazy thing with the black. The purples are transparent, see the square's not coloured in. And the turquoise, looks like it's an opaque as well. Alright, let's get this moving before it all runs off. Let's do a bit of a circle first. So the paint has flowed over the pink. Alright, let's just get to that first corner and back. Back to the middle a little bit, and then to this corner. Make sure you're hanging onto your card so it doesn't fly off. And back again. It's moving slowly. Have I got enough paint? Back again. You need to bring it back again so that the pink can come back again. You sort of tip it off and then you bring it back again so that pink can come back. Hang on to the corners. And we just need to go back to this last little corner here. Hopefully I've got enough paint. Only just. I think this card is slightly bigger than the similar size canvas. I think it might be 30 by 42 centimeters. So it's similar, but maybe just a touch bigger. But then it doesn't have sides. So I thought it might be all right. Now the other thing I like to do is just move my paint around a little bit and get it moving, just to encourage those pink cells to pop up. All right, we'll give that a few minutes. See what it wants to do. Don't like to move it anymore once those pearls have come up, because then they start to overstretch. So give it a bit of a torch now. So this mix was a little bit thinner. I added the extra 5 grams of water. I just wanted to see what would happen. Looks as if it's muddied a little bit more. The black is a bit muddy. But I just wanted to see what would happen. So it's early days yet. We'll wait and see what the pearls do. I don't want to diss it just yet. Alright, that's enough torching, and I will pop up and pause the video and then come back to it in a little while. So at the moment, the cells on the outside here are kind of a little bit wobbly down there. So not sure yet if that's because the pink had that extra water in it, or whether it's just because I've thinned down these top colours a little bit. I've added an extra 5 grams. But we've got some pretty pink pearls popping up through there. So yeah, I'll put it on pause and I'll come back and have a look and see what's happening shortly. It does take a little while for the pearls to come up and do their thing. So it doesn't happen straight away. It can take, you know, half an hour or so for them all to come up. So just be patient. They'll come up and they'll keep growing. So we'll have a look shortly. Sunday morning today, so I'm going to go and cook some bacon and eggs for the family. Whoops, 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 that's too much. And then Christy and I are going out for lunch to our favourite Yum Cha restaurant, and then just at our local shopping centre where the movies are, and then we're going to go and see It Chapter 2. I rewatched It number 1 on Friday night, just so that I could remember what was happening. So we're going to go and see It number 2 today. Love horror movies. All right, I'll be back soon. I'm back. Went and had my brekkie, bacon and eggs and mushrooms cooked in butter. Yummo, and I'm back. I don't think I like it as much with the more water added in this batch. Prefer it the other way with everything a little bit thicker. So these pink pearls will still keep growing for a bit, but I want to move on to the next pour, so I'm going to stop this now and move on to the next thing. The pearls, see if I can show you. See how they're kind of a little bit wobbly on the outside? They haven't kept their really round edges, and that's just because there was too much water. So as I said, we do usually just put equal amounts of paint with Floetrol. I just wanted to see what would happen with the water because I had it. So there you go. So not as good with extra water. Alrighto, I'll see you for the next pour. Bye for now.